camera position today. I feel like I'm gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna make change things up a little bit, bring a little bit of a different content. We're not gonna do a POV drive. We're just gonna be talking and driving, so you guys, a little bit of a different, I guess view, I guess you guys could say, and look at my gorgeous face more than a gorgeous car, I guess. But welcome back to another video, guys. Right now I just got some gas, filled up this thing. It was only 70 bucks to fill it from pretty much empty. 550 kilometers, not too bad, not too bad. It's Saturday, so I don't really know what to post, so I'm just gonna be going to my mom's now, see her for a bit, and then I gotta go to Best Buy because I gotta look into buying a laptop, and then I'm gonna pull up to a nice spot because I'm gonna tell you guys 5 cars. I don't know if I'm gonna do 5 or if I'm gonna do 3, because 5 is a lot of options, right? It's hard to decide, but I might do three cars that I would buy next after this car. All right, so we're just gonna be taking a leisurely drive now down to my mom's place. I love this car, man. All right, so I wanted to make this video and talk about what are 5 cars that I would probably replace the S5 with. The S5 is looking spiffy right now. Dirty as shit. But, bro, the previous owner plasti dipped that one piece down there, so I gotta get that replaced. But the car is looking real nice, other than the fact that it's dirty. But I live in Canada, man, so there's a lot of what's it called, salt and shit. So, but it's okay, it's a German car, these things don't rust. But let's first get into it. I'm going to talk about the first one. There's no real order to this, but it kind of all depends on where I'm going to be. It's cold, bro. But it all kind of depends on where I'm going to be at financially. And I'm not sure if you guys know, or if I've said it in any videos, but I am looking to replace the Audi, the S5, probably March 2026. If that's like when I want to replace it, March 2026, because that's when the warranty's off the car. So that's when I want to get rid of it and get into something else. But worst comes to worst, if something happens next year or whatever the case may be, these are kind of my top 5 cars that I kind of want to get into. So we'll start off with honestly the cheapest one, and that's going to be a manual B58, a manual 340, like 2016 to 18. Many people might say that it's kind of a downgrade from this, as far as, power and stuff like that. And they are kind of in the same class. Now, that's kind of where I'm looking at now. If this car does get into an accident, it does get totaled before March of 2026, that is what I'm looking at. Only because A, it's cheaper, and B, manual B58 can't really go wrong. And if I was to get an F30 340 manual, I'd get an M package, M performance package, individual, whatever, the whole shebang, right? The one that has like 350 horsepower. I'll throw a picture up on screen of what one I'm looking at, or that I have saved on like Car Gurus or whatever, because it is really nice. It's a Laguna Seca blue one. Now, I would either get a white one or that color. I don't really want black because it blends in with every other car on the road. So I would want to go with a fun color. And if I have to settle for a black one, I would wrap it eventually or repaint it. The reason why I'm looking at that car is for a couple of reasons. A, I'm 19, and I'm trying to buy an investment property soon. That's kind of where I'm looking at and getting. So that's why I kind of want to keep the cost low on the car I'm buying, because I want to buy an investment property that's really in bad shape, flip it, things like that. So that's going to cost a lot of money up front. So that's why I'm kind of trying to keep the cost of my car low. The next car, that's why I kind of want one, and plus I love BMWs. As I've said in a billion videos, I do love BMWs. But the next car that I am looking at is also in the same class as the S5, is I'm also looking at a B9 S5 coupe. Now again, this is another scenario where if the car does get written off or totaled in the next year when I didn't plan on getting rid of it, that would be what I get, because I don't feel like I'm done with this car yet at all. I haven't even tuned it yet. I want to build it, and every time I drive this car, especially with the catless downpipe, man, it just sounds so good. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it drives. Love the interior. I love the exterior. Like, the silhouette of the car is gorgeous, right? So I really like the way this car looks, like, and I love this color. So I would either get, I'm also would look at a B9 S5 coupe in either black or Navarro blue again, or white. That's what I would be looking at. Ideally, if I get a black one, I want red guts. If I get a white one, I want red guts. And if I get another blue one, I want black guts, because this one has the gray. And I like it, but I would want to change it up. And that's why I get a coupe, because it is different. And then I guess I wouldn't say it's a separate car, but I would also look at like a B9.5, like a 2020 and newer one, whether that's a sportback or a coupe. I'd probably go with a coupe, even if I did get another S5, regardless of what generation it was, just because it would be a lot different. It wouldn't be a lot different, but at least a different body style than this one would be, than the S5 Sportback. And this car's huge. It's so long, bro. I feel like it's massive. So like if an S5 is a little bit smaller, I've only had sedans since like 2020, end of 2022 with my Genesis coupe. That was the last coupe I had. I did have a flip in between there. I had a G35 coupe, but I had that for like 2 weeks, and then it got stolen. So I would probably get another coupe. But yeah, I'll throw a picture up on screen of kind of what I'm looking at as far as what I would, like my idea of a build would be for that type of car, and the same with the 340. The 340 I'd go very OEM plus, and I only really like OEM plus. I don't like nothing crazy. But yeah, that's where I'm trying to be, because those cars are all pretty like cheap. Like the payments and stuff aren't bad, and the S5 coupe and the 340 would both be cheaper than this. So, which is kind of what I'm looking for, as far as what I want to pay when I have to buy a rental property. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. But the next car would probably be an M340, as you know, fucking as cliche as it is. Those cars are sick, and like I said, payments are going to be around the same as what I'm paying now. Newer cars, so it'll be less kilometers, and they're reliable, right? And they're sick. I love M340s. That's what I wanted before I bought this. I really wanted an M340, but the payments were just not looking good. Where I was in my stage, where I was in life about 9 months ago when I bought this car. So that's why I didn't get one, and there were just none on the market that I really liked. I really wanted a white one, and there wasn't really any that I really liked. They either came with some ugly interior color or whatever the case may be, but it just wasn't my option that I liked, and just payment wise. So honestly, that's what it is at the end of the day, is payments. Ideally, I'd like to buy a car cash, which you guys might see in a further coming video on the channel of what my plans are, because I do want to hear your guys' opinions, but it's for a later video because I kind of have to see what's going on with it. It's kind of just an idea in my head, but if I decide to go through with it, I want to see if you guys are on board with it. So that was, right now we're at the S5 Sportback, the S5 Coupe, B9 or B9.5, 340 or M340. The next car that I'd probably be looking at too, now this is if I waited to buy an investment property, because right now where I am in my state, where I am in my life, I want to get a rental property, but I really want to do this full time. You know, if you know God has that path for me, this is what I want to do. Now, because there's two things to it, right? There's like, I could either buy a better car and put money into the car for YouTube, which is what I want to do, or I would put money into an investment property, which I could also do. Now that just comes from income, right? That's just me at the end of the day. But right now, right this moment, as I'm filming this video, I gotta see what I have to prioritize first. But the next car would probably be, that I would look at, was an F82 M4 or an F80 M3. I myself prefer the M4. I always have for like 3 years now. I've wanted one in a Yas Marina blue with the Silverstone interior. That's what I want. I don't really care too much for color, either white, Yas Marina blue, but there is one on Car Gurus that is wrapped in like a satin gray, like the Mercedes satin gray, which I'll put a picture of it on screen so you guys can see it. It's so nice, man. I fucking love the car. It's so gorgeous. But I'd have to get rid of this first in order to do that. And plus, I don't really want to trade this in just because of the trade-in value. I have way too much negative equity. So, but I would want an F82 But the thing is with those cars, and why I'm also kind of not really looking towards that, is just because of there's so many out there, man. Like, so many people post those cars, right? So it's a little bit up in the air. But that's the fourth car. And the fifth car I'm kind of also looking at would be an RS5. An RS5, either, like I said, coupe or sportback. I don't really care. I'll put a picture up again on screen of the one I have saved on my Car Gurus. It is a Navarro blue with black interior. I fucking love the car. I'll put a picture up on screen. My one thing is I don't know what the difference is between driving the two. I don't know if they're similar. I don't know how different they are. My buddies told me to not get an RS5 next just because they are so similar, and the interior is very similar. I'll show you the interior of this car. You guys have definitely seen it in the POV drives, but it's very similar to the RS5. Like, pretty much the only difference is like the wheel. Obviously the gauge, like, infotainment's a little bit different, but as far as and the seats have RS on them instead of S right there. And there's holes here for weight reduction in the handle there. But as far as differences, there's very few on the interior, and the interior is where you see the most, right? So that's my thing. Exterior, there is a little bit different. Honestly, before I bought my Audi, I didn't really notice too much of a difference between the two. After I got my S5, I now see the differences. The RS5 is way wider. It sounds way better than the S5. No one can debate that. It sounds way better. 2 turbos. It has like 100 more horsepower, 90 horsepower, whatever it is. And it is way wider, way more aggressive, and I love it. I love the wheels that are on that car, especially the RS5 competition. I love those wheels. If I can get my hand, I would put those wheels on this car 100%. If I could find a good pair that aren't overly priced, I'd put them on this car. Those are the cars I'm looking at. If you ask me personally, like I said, there's no order to those cars. Personally, if you ask me what I truly want, I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know. Ideally, if I do go the route, because the thing is too, is if I get into an investment property, yes, I could just keep this. This thing's at 118K, and I bought it at 90K, and the way I bought it, I kind of overpaid for it. So I don't, like, for me to keep this car till my loan is done, it's a waste of money, right? I'm better off just getting rid of it and then getting another one that I can save a lot of more money on. Like, the payments on this car are like M340 payments. Like, that's what I'm telling you. Like, it's a lot. So that's why I'd probably go with an S5. But anyway, as I was saying, if you ask me what I truly want, I honestly really do want an RS5 coupe or sportback, whatever it is, whatever I can honestly find a better deal on. I don't really care. But that's what I honestly really want. This car has honestly made me fall in love with Audis. Before I started making YouTube videos, I bought this car because how I bought it was I had a guy source the car for me, and he couldn't find any M340s in my price range, no F80s, no F82s, and all the 340s that I was looking for, I wouldn't get approved for because they were all in bad shape, like bad Carfaxes, all that stuff, and the bank won't really approve that. He's like, what's your next option? And I said a B9.5 or B9 S5 Sportback, because my neighbors had one and I fell in love with theirs. So that's why I suggested it, and that's what he got me. And honestly, I couldn't be happier with the car, because the color is so different, interior is so different, right? I love the car, and ever since, and you know, for the first like 5 months I owned this car, maybe 4 months, I kind of wanted to get rid of it. I liked the car, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't what I wanted. But as I started driving it, as I started putting money into it, you know, into simple things like the front end, all the differences in the front end, the downpipe, the resonator delete, I have really fallen in love with the car, and I do love the car. But what I'm paying for this one is not worth it, right? So I would probably get into either a B9.5 S5 coupe or a RS5. Probably an RS5 if the payments are all right, because I'd get like a 19 RS5 2019, which is perfectly doable. So that's what I'm looking at. I do really want an RS5. I think they're different. The thing is with F80s and especially G80s is they're super overplayed. There's way too much content on them. Nothing, at least that I think, from what I can gather, I don't think I can really make much original content on that car. Whereas with the RS5, maybe one day when I'm bigger, you know, I have a good following, whatever. But I'm trying to, you know, build up a loyal fan base here. And I think with the Audis, it's a little bit different because not a lot of people post these cars. I don't know anyone else that's making YouTube videos on these cars, so I figured I'd try it. Why not? but that's what I'm looking at as an RS5. So, but we'll see. And like I said, I do have an idea that I might play out, that I'm gonna think about it and, you know, put all my ducks in a line and see what you guys think on what I should do. But as far as where I'm at right now, I do love the car. It is a gorgeous car, man. Like, I love this color. I just love the color so much. It's so fucking nice, man. The Navarro blue. It's definitely an underrated car, or underrated color, sorry. And I love this lip. I love the way I made the front end look. Man, I don't know. It'd be hard to get rid of this car. It's just, honestly, it's what I'm paying for it. If I bought this car outright, I'd for sure keep it. Hopefully I can maybe like win the lottery or something, or maybe XRP will blow up so I can buy it cash and just pay it out, and then I'd keep it for sure. But that's where I'm at right now, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. I think we're at like 211 subscribers right now, so you know, we're gaining. I want to hit at least, I don't think I'll get to 500 by the end of the year, but if we can get to like 250 subscribers by the end of the year, I'd for sure be happy. Next year, I want to hit 10K by the end of 2025. So just got to stay consistent, post good content, you know, be original. And we're going to get there, boys. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And like I said, comment down below what you guys want to see. Make sure you guys subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.